The scale is one of the most contentious parts of the weight loss world. And on one hand, a scale tells us objective data. It tells us things about ourselves. When I weighed twice what I weigh right now, the scale told a story, and that story was true. The truth was that I was eating too many unhealthy foods that went far beyond eating when hungry, and I was carrying that weight on my body. Now the thing is that the scale fluctuates all the time. It is a measure, it is a piece of data. There are times in my own journey when getting on the scale was my biggest vulnerability. There were times when the last thing I should do would be to get on the scale. I would encourage you in your own journey to think about how vulnerable you are to the number on that scale, because that's going to tell you what your course of action could be. On a day-by-day basis, the number on the scale fluctuates. It fluctuates all day long. And so if I tied my self-esteem to the number on that scale, I would find a very miserable existence. How do I know that? I know it because I've done it. I know it because I've seen other people do it. And I would encourage you to start untangling the meaning of the scale for you and using it in a way that gives you the data that you want, but in a way that you do not have your self-esteem rise and fall based on a fickle number on the scale that is a constantly moving target that is going to be impossible to keep up with one way or another. The story the scale tells over time is going to be the story that you want it to tell. And that story doesn't have to be on a day-by-day basis. It can be a month-by-month basis. It can be a year-by-year basis, because that's going to be a far more accurate story than a day-by-day basis. So my message to you is of the utmost importance. Get away from the vulnerability that you feel with the scale, if that is part of your experience. That is a fickle number that does not tell you who you are, and you need to take your power and have control of what this journey means from the inside out. The scale is a small piece of that journey. Take your power back, find your power, and rise above that number.